Hello, welcome back everyone. We're going to talk about sugar. Once a prohibitively expensive luxury, now a modern addiction. Sugar and sweets have been a British obsession since the Tudor period.
Now a new BBC series follows four modern confectioners as they recreate the treats of the past and explore how a national sweet tooth developed over 400 years.
Cynthia Stroud is one of the cake makers who took part in the programme and joins us now. Morning to you. It's absolutely fascinating. So you've sort of gone back in time using the skills that you have and had to recreate the, I suppose, sweet things from the Tudor age. Just tell us, what was the first thing that you were struck by when you had to go back there and start doing this?
We thought, you know, we understood obviously the premise of the show, and we thought we're going to go back there and we're going to, you know, recreate the sweets that they had, you know, using their methods and stuff. And we're told we're going in this beautiful, you know, Tudor kitchen, and I walked in and my first thought was, okay, where's the kitchen? And to give you an idea, kitchen as you recognize it, you'd see an oven, you'd see utensils, nothing, stone floors, wooden table. Where's the oven? You know, and I realized that was when it hit me. Oh, this is a lot more serious than, you know, than we previously thought.
Yeah, so the cooking conditions are not what you're used to, but also the shape and form of the sugar, which was a real rarity then. This is right at the beginning of sugar being available at all, was completely different to how you might imagine.
Totally. I mean, I felt like hugging my bag of icing when I got back home, because it's, you know, you think you've got sugar and you know what sugar looks like, but instead you're given this cone that looks nothing like sugar.
It's like a block.
It's a block. And then even as you're looking at it, you think, I know what this is going to feel like. It's going to be soft. It's solid. It's like having to carve out from a block of, you know, a building block what will be sugar, and then having to clean it. I mean, you don't think about having to clean sugar, do you?
No, we just assume it arrives in this sort of pristine whiteness of it. And then, I mean, it is absolutely fascinating how difficult it was for them, and so many things came out of it. For example, recipes didn't have any measurements in them. You have experience of that in some ways.
Yeah, I'm used to not having proper recipes. I mean, I didn't grow up here. I grew up back in Africa, in Nigeria, where recipes are sort of handed down to you, you know, verbally. Oh, mix a handful of this and do this, and when the soup looks like this, then it's ready. So we didn't have that, and I'm self-taught, so I've done a lot of things, you know, sort of trial and error. So I wasn't fazed by that aspect of it. But what I was not expecting was to not have any sort of equipment or any tools that I recognize at all. I knew there wasn't going to be a tabletop mixer, but I thought at least there'll be like a whisk. But instead there were twigs. I mean, twigs tied together was your whisk. So as you're beating an egg, it's breaking off.
Now, the programme is not a competition of any description, but there is a phrase, too many cooks in the kitchen. There's four of you. You're all highly esteemed in your field of making sweet items. Did you have differences along the way of just how to handle stuff?
Not at all. It was fantastic, actually, because we all had different areas of expertise, and there were two chocolatiers there who got on fantastically. We've actually all stayed really good friends, and we formed a group. You know, they were messaging me, you know, this morning. So
what was the thing that you could do? You said you had different areas. What was your particular thing?
I'm a cake maker, you know, and
you can see what you're doing.
Make a house cake.
Yes, we do things like that even now. And there were chocolatiers, and there was, you know, like a sweet expert. So we all got on really well.
And some of the history of sugar is incredibly uncomfortable, actually, because it has to do with the slave trade, doesn't it?
Yeah. I was not expecting that.
Were you not?
No. I wasn't expecting to learn that. I mean, we knew. I mean, obviously the producers had to sort of withhold information from us, so we don't go off researching and then that therefore ruining the bit where we find out, like the viewer, what it is like in that era. So we didn't know much about what we were going to be doing. Just they was going to cover that period. So when they sat us down and said, "Come and hear about this," I thought it was come and hear the new recipe, and there emerged this absolutely horrific, you know, story of what it was like, and I was just blown away. I thought, does everybody know this? Because growing up in Africa, I certainly didn't learn much about slavery, and I was just shocked.
Well, that's part of the joy of the programme. It's kind of a learning curve in many ways. Lovely to see you here this morning. Thank you very much.
It's really excellent. The Sweet Makers, a Georgian treat, is on BBC Two tonight at 8 o'clock. If you want to see the Tudors, that is already on iPlayer.
That's it for us this morning. Back tomorrow, of course, at 6.
Now it's time for Wild UK, and Lucy Cook discovers how the white-tailed sea eagle has made a dramatic return to the coastline.